thank everybody that came out last night. We had an absolutely fabulous, huge crowd, and we had our 40th anniversary, so we invited our reunion royalty back. 111 girls that we got a hold of, only one I couldn't find, and we had about 35 of those ladies come back, and we also had visiting royalty. It's a wonderful way to start out our Rice County Fair. It's an all-American thing, and I appreciate, as the girl said with her sponsors, I appreciate all the sponsors that make this possible. And I think the only thing that the girls can't be at is when they're showing animals for 4-H or whatever. So that, you know, these are really good gals, and she's over there doing her job. So I hope you get to meet them while you're down here at the fair. I know it's going to be warm, but come on out. We are strong Minnesotans. We are strong Rice County people. You can handle a little bit of heat. If you can handle the cold in the winter, you can handle the heat in the summer. And also, you know, there's all kinds of stuff to cool you off down here. The dairy products, ice cream, all kinds of things. So come on out. Thanks again, folks.
Thank you, Kathy. I'd like to quickly mention too that the best of the best of the West County Agriculture Hall of Fame program started a number of years ago. It is sponsored by the Faribault Chamber of Commerce Agribusiness Committee, also the Rice County Fair, and finally Doug Gilbertson from the Near Strand Agri Center, who's up and sponsored. I know I saw Doug here earlier. Where's Doug? Doug, let's give Doug a hand for helping sponsor this, taking care of all of the plans. And I also wanted to mention that due to the wonders of modern technology, even though sometimes some things don't work, Tamara is here. I call her a computer geek, but she's broadcasting the program live on YouTube. And for those that would like to watch it later on, it will be posted on our website later on today as well. So go to KDHLradio.com. All right, now John Dvorak, is he still here or did he get called out for? No, he is here.
Try it again. Try it again.
Come on over, John. He's probably going to give me grief the rest of the fair because I bumped him because of the Fair Queen royalty.
No, I just believe it. I want to thank everybody for coming tonight and welcome you on behalf of the Fair Board, all the sponsors that we have that sponsor this program. Big welcome. I'm glad you could all make it today. It's cool this morning. I hope you enjoy yourself and you stay here the rest of the day because I think the weatherman said it'll be cool the rest of the day.
And it's too hot to do anything at home. It's cooler here.
That's right. It's too hot to go on the field today, so you don't have to just stay at the fair today and enjoy yourself and have a good time. So that's about, I think, enough said by me. We have a great group of people that we're going to induct into our Hall of Fame, and a bunch of all, they're very deserving of all the people that are getting, and I congratulate all of you and thank you for supporting agriculture here in Rice County.
Thank you, John, and thank you for your support. And remember that agriculture is the heart of all county fairs. We have some guests with us this morning that I would like to introduce. Now, I know that Senator Vicki Jensen and Trevor were here earlier, but they had to go to a meeting, but they did stop by. Also, Chuck Ackman with Senator Klobuchar's office was here, but he too had to go to a meeting. Apparently, they're earning their fat paychecks representing us, so they did have to go. I also noticed that Representative Brian Danielson was here, and he really had to go because he had to take his wife up to the airport. So he has his priorities right. It wasn't the citizens, it was his wife he was keeping happy. But Brian was here earlier this morning. Also, I noticed former County Commissioner Mel Cozans was here. No, you're still here somewhere? There he is back there. And Jay Gillen is here. Commissioner Jeff Dockin is here. And thanks to the county commissioners for being such a big supporter of everything we do here at the Rice County Fair. I also noticed that the Dean of the Farm Business Management at the South Central College, Brad Schlescher, is here. Brad, where are you? Stand up and wave. I know he was here earlier. Maybe he had to go to a meeting. And I also noticed that Luann Hinniker is here as a regional director for the University of Minnesota Extension. So let's give all of our guests a round of applause for coming to the program this morning. And I would also like to say a special thank you to the Faribault Chamber of Commerce, not just the Agribusiness Committee, because we can do a lot of things throughout the year. And Ray Bongard is the Chairman of the Faribault Chamber of Commerce Agribusiness Committee. Greg, will you come up and say a couple words? We get a lot of support as a subcommittee of the chamber.
Oh, good morning, everybody. First of all, I'd like to have all the members of the Ag Business Committee that are here stand up along with the chamber. They give us a big hand.
They're shy.
They're shy. We enjoy the opportunity to help agriculture and promote it in the county and the surrounding areas. It's been a good time, even with Jerry on board. But we're always looking for help and for new members to help spread the word and get agriculture out there. So if you're interested, stop by the chamber and give them a call. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. And once again, special thanks to the Faribault Chamber of helping support all the things we do on the Agribusiness Committee. Well, we'd like to move on then to the highlight of the program, the Rice County Agriculture Hall of Fame program. And Art Madsen kind of leads up that subcommittee. Art, you want to come up and say a couple, then we'll get to Roasting, one of the guys that also picks on me all the time. Milt.
Hey, thank you, Jerry. And we definitely need to say thank you to Jerry Groskreutz and the whole crew at KDHL for making this thing possible for all of our radio listeners and now our, is it YouTube?
Yeah.
YouTube viewers. And Jerry puts in countless hours here at the Rice County Fair, and we certainly not only supporting the fair, but throughout the entire year, keeping us informed in agriculture and making the less informed in agriculture somewhat more informed.
And that's kind of what it's all about, isn't it?
Absolutely. Our customers need to know what a fantastic job our producers are doing out here, and my hat's off to all of you.
Well, let's briefly go over the history of the Rice County Agriculture Hall of Fame. And I'm hoping that many other county fairs take the opportunity to salute those in agriculture at their county fair.
Absolutely. This is year number 9, and last night across the way at the stadium, or whatever we call it, is that the Selner Stage? Thank you. Kathy Kapp put on a fantastic program at 40 years with fair royalty represented. Next year will be our 10th year anniversary. So maybe we should start thinking about having something for next year to invite back the family members and friends of all those that have previously been inducted into the Ag Hall of Fame.
Good idea. It's time to start working on our 10th anniversary, isn't it, for next year?
It's amazing, but it has been 10 years.
You look a day old.
Yeah. You need work on your eyes again, Jerry.
I'll pull my glasses up a little closer.
Speaking of Jerry's eyes.
I have control of the mic, so too bad.
Speaking of Jerry's eyes, I don't know how many of you know it, but Jerry's got a nice, it's rather rustic, but a nice hunting cabin up north. And I was so fortunate is to have the opportunity to hunting season with Jerry. And I'll be the first one to admit I'm not much of a hunter. I certainly believe in the Second Amendment and our right to bear arms, but I just haven't spent a lot of time hunting. Used to hunt some pheasants, and when I moved to Minnesota, DNR kindly stopped out and said, you know, the way you shoot pheasants, we appreciate it if you don't, because we're trying to build up our population here. So Jerry and I are up north of his cabin, and it's kind of a rustic cabin, and like most of the cabins up there, it's got this nice two-holer outhouse that's very well maintained. And I was out there one morning visiting, and lo and behold, Jerry came out to join me, and we visited a little bit of friendly conversation. I know some of you people who've got gray hair like I do had a lot of conversations back in the olden days with friends and family members in those outhouses. And Jerry was about to leave, and he got up, and lo and behold, a quarter rolled out of his pocket. And it went round and round and round. You got it right down in there. Jerry looked down there and he just started to boil. He reaches in his pocket and he pulls out his wallet. He throws it down there. He takes off his wristwatch and he throws it down there. He takes off his hunting jacket and starts to throw it down there. And I said, Jerry, what are you doing? He says, Art, I'm not going down there for just a quarter.
Actually, you know why he wanted to go up and see the hunting shack? I had it on my balance sheet of my farm loan at the bank as an asset. So he was going around to check to see if it was good due diligence as an ag loan officer.
And like everything on Jerry's balance sheet, it was there just exactly like he said. Moving along, I want to make mention of the individuals that had previously been inducted into the Rice County Ag Hall of Fame. Our first year was 2008. Our inaugural class included Lincoln Paulson. Lincoln was a great soil conservation pioneer here in Rice County. Many of you know him and his contributions to soil conservation. Also inducted that year was Warren Liebenstein, our longtime former extension agent here in Rice County, who gave many years of service to agriculture. Also inducted, KDHL's own Dean Curtis, the Dean of Agricultural Broadcasting, certainly an outstanding recipient of that award. And the fourth one we had that year was Daryl Haig. Many of you remember Daryl, primarily for County Ag here in Faribault, which has morphed into Genesis, I believe. In 2009, our inductee was Paul Day. Paul is from the Northfield area, and among other things, was a vocational agriculture instructor and was head of the FFA at the state level here in Minnesota. In 2010, we had another good Northfield inductee, Burton Peterson from Far Days Farms, also inducted that year. And if you will, please stand up, give us a hand for Ben Bartusik. Ben is with us here today.
He's practicing for our anniversary celebration next year.
Thanks for coming, Ben. Also inducted that year was Mary Donkers, Mrs. Paul Donkers. Morgan, Morristown area, Morgan Ag Services, and Wally Hildebrandt over there in Richland Township, who donated lots and lots of time to soil conservation activities on the county level and the district level and on the state level. Also inducted that year, Senator Clarence Purvis. In 2012, and I think Dick Langsley is here. Dick, will you stand up?
No, Dick had to go over and do his community service at, where does he volunteer every?
Absolutely, still very active in his involvement with the church community.
But he did come for his free breakfast.
He and Mary Ann were there. I'm sure he told Mary Ann he'd buy breakfast for her. So we had in 2012 Dick Langsley, Ed Droywitz, who was a brown Swiss breeder down on the Steele County line, producing outstanding brown Swiss cattle, and also served the Brown Swiss Association both on the state and on the national levels. Ed was inducted into the Minnesota State Purebred Livestock Breeders Association Hall of Fame, as was Ben Bartusik a number of years ago. Also inducted in 2012 was Willard Eastrom, a Nerstrand area farmer, and Eugene Schroeder. 2013, the inductee was A.J. Lashbrook. Those of you that are in the Holstein world understand the importance of A.J. Lashbrook and his Holstein breeding program. Over 2/3 of all the Holstein cattle that are in the United States today trace back in some way, shape, or form to his genetics. So a real pioneer when the Northfield area was kind of the epicenter for Holstein cattle in the entire United States. In 2014, Gary Hansen, a Nerstrand farmer. Today, our 2015 inductee, Mr. Doug Wordish. Doug, will you stand? We'll give you a hand. Thanks for coming, Bill.
And for this year, 2015, and we'd like to have Dave Isaac to come up too. We'd like to say a couple words about this character that I've known for 20 years. One of the first farmers I got to know when I snuck into Faribault 20 years ago on a weekend.
Yeah, Dave's going to come up and make a couple comments. He has known Milt for a few years, and going to share a few things with us about Milton Olson, who is our 2016 inductee.
I don't know how I got wrapped into this thing, but I think art had a lot to do with it. But again, I want to congratulate you, Milt. You're very deserving of this award. He's been very, very intriguing in all his farming. You look at the sheep, all the things he's been involved in. He's been on the milking commissions. He's been on the corn growers, soybeans. Done a very excellent job selling seed corn. I don't know how many people got talked into buying seed corn from him, but he was pretty aggressive. I'll tell you, he wouldn't back off either. And like I said, we're very proud to know him. I've been friends for many, many years. My wife and his wife worked together one time, federated, so this goes back quite a ways there. And I also like to thank his family. I know that Peg's been a strong supporter, and Dave, because there was a lot of times he was gone for a few days. And I know for a fact that we've been on quite a few trips together also. And we've been known to have some Bloody Marys in the morning that we Milt. Again, thanks, Milt. Congratulations to you.
And I just wanted to apologize. Milt was actually nominated by Paul Donkers. And of course, many months ago, and about 2 weeks ago, I got this frantic call from Art, who got a frantic call from Paul, that he finally realized that this was a week that the Ice went to Michigan for their family vacation. And I had recorded a great interview with Paul that I was going to play back. Due to technical difficulties, we aren't going to be able to, but we always have a plan B. If you're a farmer and you need things to get done, you have a plan B. So my plan B is later today, that interview will be posted on our website, KDHLradio.com, and I will also be broadcasting it tomorrow morning at about 6:17, 18, right after the weather. So if you'd like to hear that, it's a great interview, and I didn't know that Milt and Paul go back to high school days. They knew each other in high school, served our country, were veterans, just a really great story. So please go to today and listen to that interview, or listen tomorrow morning, KDHL 920 at 9:18.
I got a very frantic call from Paul Donkers about 2 weeks ago, and he said, Art, we got a big problem here. I said, problem is problem, we'll get it figured out. And we did. We recorded a nice, we meaning Terry Groskreutz, we recorded a nice interview with him, and unfortunately, we're unable to play that, but as a backup, in his own handwriting, Paul Donkers gave me the notes just in case something like this happened.
That's a backup to the backup plan. Are we not involved in agriculture?
I'm going to read Paul Donkers here. I'm much younger and not nearly as attractive, but this is in Paul's words. It says, "I'm proud to nominate my fellow farmer, neighbor, and good friend, Milt Olson, for this honor at the Best of the Best presentation. I first got to know Milton when we were in the U.S. Army Reserve in the 353rd Transportation Company stationed here in Faribault. Milton served 7.5 years for his country. Before that, as a young lad,
Before I knew him, apparently.
hard to imagine.
I don't know, he doesn't act like he's grown up yet.
You're only as old as you act. He was a member of the Rice County 4-H, showing dairy cattle, and also won many trips to the state fair showing cattle. He is also, in his high school years, was a member and was chapter president his senior year. Milton started farming, milking registered Holstein cows. He sold registered breeding cattle to many of his neighbors over his farm. Milton was a member of the Northfield Rice Holstein Club and the Rice County DHIA. and had a high producing herd. He sold his milk to AMPI Dairy Co-op and was a director and delegate for the co-op. He was also a director on the board of Community Co-op for 28 years until he was, and I'm assuming this is a misprint, it says until he was 70. Dairies and corn. He was a salesman for DeKalb Asbrook. He was #1 salesman in the district for Prairie Brand. Milt supports the 4-H as a 4-H livestock auction buyer. He has been a member of the adult farm management class at South Central Technical College for over 50 years. Milt cared about his land. He tiled, bermed, and put in grass waterways to prevent erosion. Milt is a member of the First English Lutheran Church. He is an usher and a strong supporter of the church. We have been friends for over 50 years, and now the nominating committee picked Milt for this great honor. Congratulations.
Wow, come on up, let's bring it up here. And I did hear a couple stories from Paul that you are going to have to listen to that interview I'll record it on our website or tomorrow morning. A couple interesting stories about Mr. Milty that I didn't know, and you're just going to have to think about it until tomorrow morning, but congratulations, Mel.
Thank you.
What does it mean to you, Mel? Don't you love that?
This is a great honor that I'm getting here today, and basically with the help of my family, and I will introduce them now. We have Paul. Okay, Paul.
Bring them all up here.
Come on up here.
Come on up, Paul. Come on up.
And everybody, yes.
Yeah.
Come on, Peggy.
Diane and Jerry, you come up. Yes. Yeah. Okay, we'll start out here. Okay. No, speaking of no dates.
I paid attention if you did something I told him to.
Okay, this is Paul and his wife Sharon. Paul helps me in the spring and in the fall, and then he has a lot of other activities that he another business of his own. We got David and Paul. Katie, excuse me. Okay. And David found with me full time, and his wife works in full time. And then we got my brother Gary Olson, and basically his wife Diane. Okay, and last but my wife Peggy.
How many years, Peggy?
4 in November.
54 years. I have to tell you a little story about that. There's an old, very successful man that stands as his wife, that's Peggy, mother, and the Internal Revenue Service. Not necessarily in that order. But Art, would you come over and make the presentation in the group? I'll get up a little bit. You did tell me to stay away from the speaker.
Milt, I would like to present to you at this time the Rice County Agricultural Hall of Fame Award for 2016, and it says Milton Olson, Community Co-op Board Director for 28 years, AMPI Delegate, Registered Holstein Breeder, Farm Bureau Member, FFA degree, Outstanding Seed Salesman, member of the Northfield Rice Steam Club in soil conservation and promotion of renewable fuels, and member of the First English Lutheran Church and usher. Milt, congratulations to you, Peggy, and the entire family.
Thank you very much. We enjoy working with the people in the 4-H activities. And basically, I have been a bidder at the Rice County Fair for several years. And I hope to continue that.
Excellent. It's a fantastic program, and we appreciate your support. And once again, a big round of applause for the Olson family.
Well, we're going to have to take a quick break. Apparently, we did get our technical difficulties taken care of when we are broadcasting this. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll continue on with the rest of the program. Conservation Awards, Farm Family of the Year, Centennial, Sesquicentennial, and also a special friend of the Rice County Fair. First, we'll take a break. Catch your breath. To the best, the Rice County Agricultural Fair Program. I'd like to quickly mention the sponsors that are allowing the listeners at home or on YouTube or on the internet listening to this broadcast, making it possible. Community Co-op Association of Faribault, the Genesis Co-op of Warrenstown, the Rice County Pork Producers, and the Dakota Rice Corn and Soybean Growers. Well, moving along to the Conservation Awards, Steve Haas is here. Where does Steve Haas go? It's always nice to draw some attention to those doing a great job taking care of our most precious resource of our land. And of course, this is what it's all about, celebrating agriculture. Steve?
Hi, Jerry. Glad to be here today. This has always been a nice event for us. We've always had these awards, and until this breakfast came about, we didn't have a good place to really recognize our farmers that do an outstanding. Appreciate this opportunity.
Well, let's move on. We have 3 individuals to recognize, so let's move on to the program, Steve.
Thank you. I'd like to have the Trinka family come on up. Okay, our 2016 Outstanding Conservationists are Steve and Elaine Trinka. Steve and Elaine farmed in the Forest Township area, and some of the great things that they do are most recently integrating cover crops into their farming practices. In 2015, they planted about 150 acres of ryegrass and plan to do about 250 acres this year. Steve no-tills all his soybeans into corn and is experimenting with no-till beans into the cover crops of the ryegrass. Along with using the covers, he's also enrolled in programs like the Conservation Reserve Program, or CRP, grass waterways, tree plantings, They also do food. And he's also put in several water and sediment control basins and grass waterways on his farm and the farms he rents. He would like to give credit to all his landlords that give him the opportunity and have the same kind of conservation ethic that he does. So with that, I'd like to congratulate Stephen Lane Trinka with our 2016 Outstanding Conservationist Award. Okay, moving on. We have 3 awards today. The next one is the Wildlife Enhancement Award. The Spitzaks, Dave and Jeff Spitzak, please come up. The whole family can come up. Okay, so the Spitzaks, doing something for wildlife has been something that they've done for a long time on their adjoining acreage in Walcott Township. Dave started farming around 1975, growing corn, alfalfa, and beef cattle. Now most of his acreage is in CRP and the RIM program, which is Reinvest in Minnesota. With that program, they installed a wetland restoration, and that's in a permanent conservation easement. This is one of the few open water wetlands in the east side of Rice County, and is crucial for waterfowl in this part of the county. Many ducks inhabit their duck houses. Their parcels also contain native grasses and many trees, which also create habitat for pollinators, birds, and mammals. Dave and Jeff Spitzak have landed a CRP program that includes native prairie, wetland restoration, and trees. They also have food plots to help with wildlife. From the road, you can see many different species of birds and wildlife enjoying these beautiful havens. Turkeys, pheasants, deer, eagles, pileated woodpeckers are a common sight. Grandsons Jarrett and Jayden, Jarrett, by the way, spent a summer interning with us last year. They participate in the maintenance of the land and will be the future stewards of the property. So with that, thank our 2016 Wildlife Enhancement Award winners, Dave and Jeff Spitzak.
He's shy like that. And the final conservation award.
Okay, another technical difficulty. I didn't have a plan B either. Jerry was my plan B. Okay, fine. Our last award is definitely not our least award. It's our Forestry Award, Ron and Nancy Meza. Now, Ron, he worked in conservation for a long, long time and still does. Been engaged in conservation work since his early start with the Natural Resources Conservation Service. And what was your starting year? 72. 72, wow. It's been a long time. You look good. All right, so in 1990, he contacted the Department of Natural Resources Forestry Office because he was interested in reforesting a portion of his farm. In that year, he planted about 5 acres of trees and added 12 more acres in 1993. Now has about 19 acres that have been reforested. Established trees provide food and cover for wildlife habitat, which is another benefit of the effort. Permanent vegetation created helps reduce runoff from his farm and contributes to the water quality improvements to the Straight River. Ron's a member of the National Tree Farm System, which helps private landowners become good stewards of forested land. His farm has been the site of numerous tours for a wide range of folks over the years, including other forest landowners and professional foresters because it provides a great example of a well-made and what can be accomplished through hard work and applied forestry practices over the long term. So for all of his efforts over the many years, Rice SWC is proud to recognize Ron and Nancy Mays with the 2016 Forest Stewardship Award.
Congratulations to all the conservation workers. And Steve, thanks for stepping up and bringing into this part of the program some recognition of those that are doing great jobs preserving, as I mentioned, our most precious resource, our land.
It's very great opportunity to have that, to be here.
Thank you, Steve. Let's give all the conservation award recipients another hand. We have to take one more break. We just have and the Centennial Farms did a special award. But first, we have to take one more break, and then we'll continue on the Rice County Fair.
own talent. And naturally, in those years, they had some good years and some bad years. It started out where they had a barn burned down in the early 20s. And they went through the Depression. And then there was a tornado in the 30s or 40s. And so there was good times and bad times, but they had a beautiful piece of property, all this mature oak trees, and it's always been a treasure for the family to be able to enjoy this property. My grandfather was probably one of the last, if not the last, farmer to actually farm with horses in Rice County. He never owned a tractor. And they owned it for 60 years when I took over in 1997. Or rather, they owned it for 60 years. And I've been on there for 40 now, so it is 100 years. So, he always had a set of draft horses. One was named Babe, the other was named Queenie. And if one of them died, passed away, they would be replaced by another Babe or Queenie. He always had a daughter named Jeff. So,
Jeff 1, Jeff 2,
so on that note, let me introduce.
What did you introduce?
Yes, I have my wife here with our granddaughter Melina, and we have Ava and Maya. Lisa, our newest member of the family is Laura. She's taking some pictures.
Congratulations. We have a sister centennial farm, 150 years. Renee and Pamela Kester, come on up. $150 years, isn't that something? 100 years is cool, but 150 years. Who wants to be the spokesperson here and tell us a bit of the history about your farm?
It was started in 1965 by Frederick and Maria Kester immigrants from Germany. And their kids had left Frankenstein, and we bought it from their daughter.
How does it exist today? Is it it's a conservation program, soybeans, or any livestock on it?
We still have livestock. The land is used. But we still
live out there too, Lisa?
We live adjacent to it. My brother actually lives in the house.
Well, congratulations, really cool, 150 years. Actually, impressed I can say that word since this was here. Thank you, Randy, and thank you again for all your support from the Rice County Farm Bureau. I know I just said 150 years until the University of Minnesota celebrated their sesquicentennial a few years ago, and finally I figured out how to say that. Wow, 150 years of owning that. Well, we have one more award and then a quick one to do. The Farm Family of the Year. Pretty cool. Maybe it is a sign I've been around for a while because I've known Mel for many years and I've known the Kuballs for many years. And of course, this is a program run by the University of Minnesota Extension Service. And here's Karen Anderson, our extension educator in Rice and Steele County.
So the Farm Family of the Year program is really an opportunity to highlight one of the farms within the county that are doing multiple different things out on their farm. Not only are they good stewards of the land, but they're taking that next step and really being active out into the communities. And before I introduce our farm family, I would like to invite Luann Hineker, who is our regional director for this region, to come up and present the certificate. And so with that, I would like to invite Nate and Shannon Kubal and their family forward. So the Kubal family was picked not only because they are a very active dairy farm within the county, but also because of the fact that they're doing such wonderful things out into the community. So one of the big things with the Kubal family is they always have an open door policy, having kids come out onto the farm, learn about the agricultural community and agriculture on their dairy operation. And I know that the Kubals have been not local national things as well. They have done some things with the Midwest Speak Out program, and they're actually a farm profile on the Farmers Feed Us website, just helping to further promote the dairy industry and agriculture across the county. So with that, I will let Nate and Shannon introduce their family.
Hi, thanks, Karen. We're first of all, we're real thankful for this award and that sponsored it. And we're just thankful that we have generations before us to give us the opportunity to raise our family on this farm. I'm the 5th generation, raising the 6th generation here. So this is our son Keegan. He's 9, going to be 10 in a month. It's our daughter Kelsey, she's 14, and our daughter Emma is 12, and our wife Shannon.
Don't say my name.
They're all very active on the farm. The kids are, Kelsey's on the payroll now. So she has everybody, they help with the cab, which that's the
I just want to say that, again, thank you, and try not to get choked up. But part of the reason we have such an open door policy is because my father-in-law, and we lost him in January. And so this is a real big honor for us to be able to stand up here and say thank you to him for the legacy that he left.
I just also want to say that the Kubals will be recognized at our statewide program here at the beginning of August at Farm Fest, that they recognize all of the 2016 Farm Families of the Year from across the entire state of Minnesota. And this program is really put on by a number of different individuals, not only the University of Minnesota, but the College of Veterinary Medicine, the College of Food, Agricultural, and Natural Resource Sciences.
Now, before they go, I have to tell a little story about special family that this is. It's something special that those of us that have the privilege of being involved in production agriculture maybe take for granted. But hopefully we have learning involved in agriculture, listening out to tell this story. But it was a number of years ago, and I'm sure Keegan probably doesn't remember this, but we were doing a food checkout thing at the Hy-Vee County Farm Bureau. I have all the other farm groups, commodity organizations there. And Shannon was there, of course, representing the Rice County ADA, passing out samples and promoting dairy products. And Keegan was maybe 2 or 3. And he was such a well-behaved little boy and little kids. And we just had a great time. So the next year we come back and there was no Keegan. So I said, Shannon, where's my little buddy? Well, I found out I was second rate again. Keegan had the chance to run with Dan and Grandpa at the farm that day. So instead of going to the farm to the grocery store, he was going to run with Dad and Grandpa at the farm. Now, isn't that special? They were obviously doing something where it was safe to have a 3 or 4-year-old little boy along. But sometimes it's not safe to have him taken along. But that day it was. So Keegan, just want to let you know I forgive you for passing offering your dad. But that, I think, illustrates what's special about being able to grow up on a farm, working with your family. Let's give the Kubals a hand again. One more break before the final award. So we'll take one quick break for John DeBoer. If you want to come up here, we have one more special award to do, and then we'll wrap it up to from the Rice County Fairgrounds.
machinery area, our agriculture area. He was instrumental in the decision that we divide the carnival like we did, that farther on the west end that we could have this display for machinery here. And I think it's been a huge success. At this time, I would like to have David Isaacson come up.
And let the record show, Dave didn't know it. We did some lying and conniving to get her here without him knowing it. I think we did pull it off. Let's go.
I was supposed to be going to a meeting about an hour and a half ago. And I want to leave 3 times, and my wife says, no, you can't. Then all of a sudden I see my daughter's coming to me, I said, something's going to be going on. But again, I want to thank the Fair Board. The fair has been in our family for many, many years. A little thing happened back, and I shouldn't even talk about this, but this is how involved our family kind of gets in this fair, and John knows that we've been a big supporter of the 4-H auction for many, many years.
And not just in this company.
Yeah, not just this company, like 6 of them. One year, my father got scolded for not buying somebody's livestock. The comment was, we spent more money with you than they did. This is not about spending money. This is about supporting your community. And that's what we try to do. And for 2 years, my dad would not come to the fair auction. And it hurt me pretty bad. And I was just coming into business, and we just kept talking about it. And we come back. We've been very, very glad. And our people support us very well. I mean, it's a privilege to spend money, to see what these kids can do and where they can go. And like I said, I do think, and I do thank John, because John, we've had a lot of good people who run the fair, and John knew it had some changes, and we did some talking, and we did some listening, and I think where we move Machinery Hill now up on top up there is a lot better for us, because when you people come in for your judging and stuff, if you got a few minutes, you walk over there, and you look at the stuff, and you don't have to buy every day, but every other day, okay. Anyway, like last night, we had a nice breezes, and he had a good crowd. The first night of the fair, we had a very good crowd. And like I said, on behalf of the Fair Board, we want people for trying to support our fair. We need people. Thank you. Also, I want to thank my family too. There's many hours that they don't see me, but that's like we got married, and there's just such a better for words. Again, thanks to everybody.
Dave, I appreciate you that you put your meetings on.
You had to.
So David, on behalf of the Fair Board, myself personally, I know I can always count on Dave when I have a question, because Dave will tell me the truth. If I'm doing something wrong, he'll point me in the right direction. I appreciate that, Dave. Many times I come and I sit in your office, and I notice that that office is kind of bare. It doesn't have a whole lot of stuff on it. So it's not only an honor, but it's a privilege, Dave, that I can present you with this clock set on your desk for Rice County Fair Friend of Agriculture. Thank you very much.
And I'll tell you, when Dave says he'll be home at 5:30, you know that he has a clock on his desk to make sure that he knows what time it is. Well, I think we're just about ready to wrap it up. All we do is have some thank yous to say. First, thank you to the Faribault Chamber of Commerce, Agribusiness Committee for sponsoring this program. And if you were thinking of someone that maybe should be in the Rice County Agriculture Hall of Fame, make sure you talk to Art Matson, because now is not too soon to to be thinking about the program next year. Let's get them nominated and we can get them into the Hall of Fame. Also, thanks, of course, to the Rice County Fair Board for allowing us to celebrate agriculture here at the Rice County Fair. Also, thanks to Doug Gilbertson at the Near Strand Agri Center for picking up the tab for all the plaques and all the displays and everything. So, Doug, thank you again. Wanted to say thank you to Kim and Barb and the rest of the staff at the Faribault Chamber of Commerce Agribusiness Committee for helping out the Agribusiness Committee so much. And also, thank you to all of you, what it is. I, for one, am proud to be part of it. Also wanted to say thank you to the sponsors that are allowing us to broadcast this, not only on KDHL Radio, but also YouTube Live. Community Gulf Oil Association in Faribault, Genesis Co-op of Warsaw, the Rice County Pork Producers, and Dakota Rice Corn and Soybean Growers. And one final reminder, make sure you go to our website. If you want to listen to this program later on today, kdhlradio.com. You can watch it even though you might have to see me. I'll cut you some slack if you don't pay attention to me. Also, listen to that interview with Paul Donkers about Melt. Friends for over 50 years. And finally, congratulations to everyone that we recognized here. And finally, thank you for coming. And with that, we'll send it back to the studio.